A very good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to the same chapter, chapter 10, the rural economics. So already in the last class we have started this lesson, and I told you in the rural economics, the Gandhiji says India lives in villages, and we see the introduction and the features of rural economy. We see that village is an institution, so it depends upon the agriculture, the life of the rural people, population density of the rural areas, about the employment, poverty, indebtedness, and the rural income. So far, so many migration, so many topics we have covered, and the meaning of rural development, and what is the need for rural development, what are the problems of the rural economy we have seen. So that is an people related problem and agricultural related problem we have seen. See, today in this class, the same lesson in the rural economics, we are going to study about the rural poverty, page number 209. Rural poverty, means what is the poverty? Poverty in India has been defined as a situation in which an individual fails to earn sufficient income to buy the basic minimum of subsistence. Poverty is the hypothetical line based on income or consumption levels that divides the population as people below poverty line and above poverty line. On the basis of recommended the nutritional intake, persons consuming less than 2,400 calories per day in the rural areas are treated as they are under rural poverty. So, what is the meaning of poverty? The poverty means one who doesn't have the enough employment, or one who fails to earn a sufficient income in order to fulfill their basic needs. So they are called below poverty line. And in our book say that the nutritional, when you are taking any foods, there should be a nutritional foods. So it is less than 2,400 calories in our rural areas. So every person, when we take from our food, there should be an 2,400 calories should be there in our body while we are consuming the foods. But in India, many people, they are less than 2,400 calories when they are consuming their foods. So that is called poverty line, under poverty line. So one who does not have the 2,400 calories, or one who less than 2,400 calories they are consuming while they are consuming their foods, that is called poverty line. It is especially we see in the rural area. So as per the Planning Commission, they estimates the percentage of the people living below poverty line in the rural areas. It was 50.10, which accounted for 38.80% during the 2009 and 10. Poverty is the deepest among the members of scheduled castes and tribes in the rural areas. In 2005, these groups accounted for 80% of the rural poor, although their share in the total rural population is much smaller than in 2015. More than 80 crores of India's people lived in the villages. Please understand, in 2015, more than 80 crores of India's people lived in villages. 1/4 of village population is 22 crores people list below the poverty line. India is the home to 22% of the world's poor. It is needless to state that the country has been successful in reducing the proportion of poor people in spite of increasing the population. So it is about the rural poverty in India, and what are the causes for the rural poverty. So there are various aspects responsible for the rural poverty in highlighted below. The distribution of land is high skewed in rural areas. Therefore, the majority of the rural people work as hired labor to support their families. Next one, the lack of non-farm employment. Non-farm employment opportunities do not match increasing labor force. The excess of supply of labor in rural areas reduce the wages, because in rural areas there may be a supply of labor is more. So when the supply of labor is more, already the wages will be down. If per acre only a 10% is needed, only a 10 laborers are needed to cultivate a particular farm, but there will be 30 people will be standing there out of 10. So remaining extra 20 laborers are there. So it means the lack of non-farm employment, the supply of labor is more. So when there is a supply of labor will be more, what will next happen? The wages will be reduced. So the reduces the wages and increase the incidence of the poverty. So that's why again the poverty is going on while supply of labor is more. And lack of public sector investment. The root cause of the rural poverty in our country is lack of public sector investment on human resource development. Next one, inflation. Inflation means what? Already I have explained about. Since we are the economic students, we should know about the meaning of inflation and deflation. Inflation means there is no value for money. All the prices of the commodities will be high. Okay, there is no value for money. The supply of money will be more and more. In every people in the hands, the money will be playing. So there is no value for money, and all the commodities of the prices will be high. So that is called inflationary situation. That is purchasing power of the rural people. It is very poor, leading in the rural poverty. What is a deflation? The deflation means is opposite of the inflation. So it means the supply of money is less, the value of money will be high. So it's opposite of the inflation, and all the commodities of the prices will be reduced. So it is called the difference between the inflationary situation and deflationary situations. So the steady increase in prices affects the purchasing power of the rural poor, leading to rural poverty. It is one of the causes, the inflation for the rural poverty. Next one, low productivity. Low productivity of rural labor and farm activities is a causes as well as affect the poverty. And unequal benefit of the growth. Major gains of the economic development are enjoyed by the urban rich people, leading to concentration of wealth due to defective economic structure and policies. Gains, the growth are not reaching the poor, and the contribution of the poor people are not accounted properly. And the low rate of economical growth. So in the rural area, one of the causes for the rural poverty, it is a low rate of economical growth. The economical growth rate is very less. The poor are always denied on the benefits of achievement growth of the development of the country. And more impatience and large industries and social evils prevalent in the society like customs, beliefs, increase the unproductive expenditure. So these are all the causes for the rural poverty. So what is the mean by rural poverty we have seen, and what are the causes for the rural poverty, and the remedial measures. I have written the blackboard, and the rural poverty and the causes we have seen, and the remedial. What are the remedial we can come across from the rural poverty? Since the rural unemployment and the rural poverty are interrelated, creation of employment opportunities would support elimination of the poverty. The poverty alleviation schemes programs have been implemented, modified, consolidated and expanded and improved over the time. However, unemployment, begging and rag picking and slumming continues. So unless employment is given to all the people, poverty cannot be eliminated. So who will be the cat, or who will bell the cat? யாரு பூனைக்கு மணி கட்டுறது? So the poverty eradication schemes in our book have given in the table, year of launch from 1975, 20-point program up to 2006, and the development schemes have given in the book. So see your table, and there is an explanation is given, and the measures to remedies for our rural poverty. Next topic, we are going to see the rural unemployment. The unemployment is a situation which a person is actively searching of employment but unable to find the work at the prevailing wage rate. It is a tragic, it is the waste of manpower and underutilization of human resources. As long as there is unemployment, social problems cannot be stopped and economy cannot achieve development. So as on 4th October 2016, the rural unemployment was 7.8%, which is less than the urban employment 10.1%, and all India unemployment rate is 8.5%. Rural unemployment in India are categorized in 3 classes. First one, open unemployment. Second one, concealed unemployment or underemployment. Third one, seasonal unemployment. What is our open unemployment? Unemployment persons are identified as they remain without work. We can identify. That is the open unemployment. யாரெல்லாம் வேலை இல்லாம இருக்கிறாங்க அப்படிங்கறத we can identify. So the open employment is identified as they remain without work. This type of unemployment is found among agricultural laborers, rural artisans and literate persons. It is called open unemployment. What is the concealed unemployment or underemployment? It is difficult to identify who are underemployed, for many are employed below their productive capacity, and even if they are withdrawn from work, the output will not diminish. It is also called disguised unemployment or under unemployment. This type of unemployment is found among a small and marginal farmers. In the open employment, we say that we can identify still those who do not have work, without work. Here the concealed unemployment or underemployment, this kind of unemployment situation will be in the marginal farmers, livestock rearers and the rural artisans. This kind of unemployment situation is more serious in the villages than the urban areas. Urban area காட்டிலும் villages தான் இந்த மாதிரியான underemployment அதிகமாக இருக்குன்னு சொல்றாங்க. So the disguised unemployment in rural India is 20% to 30%. It is concealed or underemployment, especially in the rural areas when we compare with the urban areas. And third one, seasonal unemployment. The employment occurs only on particular, supported by the natural circumstances, and the remaining period of the year the rural people are unemployed or partially employed in seasons like plowing, sowing and weeding and harvesting. There is scarcity of labor, and in the rest of the year there is unemployment. So it is nothing but only the season and employment means in every product there is a season. For that season only they can cultivate. So after that they will be idle. So only there is a season, there will be an employment. After harvest, after plowing, the people will be idle, without work. So that is called seasonal employment. It is pathetic to note that a farmer who cultivates one crop in a year usually goes without a job for almost 5 to 7 months. Ultimately they commit suicide. So when they don't have the work, when they don't have the enough basic needs, or when they are in the going on under poverty line, only if there is an work they will get the job and get the income. So after that the people they go on going to commit suicide. So it is the India are categorized in the three classes about the unemployment: open unemployment, and concealed unemployment or underemployment, and third one, seasonal unemployment. So what are the causes? What are the causes for the rural unemployment? So there is absence of skill development and employment generation. So lack of government activities or initiatives to give required training and then to generate the employment opportunities. Second one, the causes for the rural unemployment: seasonal and nature of agriculture. Only if there is a season, only we can do that. So all the commodities cannot be produced. So all the commodities cannot be produced in the whole year. So there is a season for every product. So in that situation the people may be idle only when they have the employment opportunities. And the lack of subsidiary occupation. So from the government, the subsidiary occupations such as poultry, rope making, piggery, due to shortages of funds investment and lack of proper marketing arrangements, they restricts the employment opportunity and rural family incomes. So the government must arrange funds for the people. However, as now they pay huge investment to the local money lenders, for they are unable to get loans from formal sources. So these are all the causes. And the mechanization of agriculture. The landlords are the principal source of employment in the form of labor. The mechanizations of agricultural operations like plowing, irrigation, harvesting, threshing, etc. reduces the employment opportunities for the form of the labor. So these are all the causes for the rural unemployment. and capital intensive technology and a defective system of educations. So these are all causes. What are the remedies for the unemployment? First one, subsidiary occupation. Second one, rural works programs. Third one, irrigation facilities. Fourth one, rural industrialization. So rural industrialization means especially through the agricultural. For example, there is an sugar cane, there should be an agro-based industries. So agro-based industries should be developed. Then only we can remove the rural unemployment. Not only the people depend on only on agricultural. There should be the based on agricultural products, agro-based industries. For example, so there is an sugar cane we are cultivating. That should be the sugar cane should become a sugar. So there should be a sugar cane, sugar mill, and cotton. There should be a cotton mill, spinning mill should be there, and there should be a paddy. The paddy should be become a rice. There should be a modern rice mill. So if there is the agro-based industries, if we develop in our country, we can give more employment on the agro-based industry sides, rather than the people not only that depends upon the agricultural side. So dear students, so we see that in this class about the rural poverty. So rural poverty means, so one who do not have or one who fails to get the income or to attain their basic needs. So they are below the poverty line, or one who has less than 2400 calories in our body. So as I told you, whenever we take from our food, நம்ம சாப்பிடக்கூடிய ஒவ்வொரு காய்கறியா இருக்கட்டும், பல வகையா இருக்கட்டும், ஆனது உணவு வகைகளா இருக்கட்டும், அதுல சாப்பிடக்கூடிய கலோரிஸ் எவ்வளவு இருக்கணும்னு சொல்றானா, minimum 2400 calories should be take up. அது கம்மியா சாப்பிடுறான் அப்படின்னா they are under poverty line. So one who gets less than 2400 calories, one who takes from their food, that people we can say that they are under poverty line. So that is we see about the poverty line, and what are the causes we say that about the rural poverty, why there is an causes, lack of public sector, inflation, low productivity, and supply of labor is more, and low rate of economical growth, and social evils. Social evils means their customs and beliefs. So these are all the causes for the rural poverty. We say that. For that, what are the remedies? We have seen in the page number 210 and 211. Page number 210, 211 பாருங்க, what are the remedies is given to come out from the rural poverty. So there is the table is given, you see that, and we see that the remedies, and the rural unemployment. So the unemployment, what is the unemployment in the rural area? So it is in India we say that open unemployment and concealed unemployment or underemployment, and seasonal unemployment we see that. And what are the causes for the unemployment, and what are the remedies for the unemployment, we see that. So there should be a technical educations for remedies for the rural unemployment. Employment oriented courses should be introduced in schools and colleges to enable the literate youth like you to start their own units. So I hope that I can conclude in this class up to the page number 213, 213. Next topic, rural industries, we see in the next class. So until then I get answer from you. So study well, open your book and go through this, because since it is the last 3 lessons, 4 lessons, up to I think 6 lessons, we have a diagram and table questions. From the 7th lesson, we have only theoretical questions. So you go on reading by your book, and also you listen my class. So when you go through the book, you can understand the concept, the rural economics. The last class we have seen about the unemployment, rural unemployment and causes and remedies. Today we are going to see about the rural industries. What is the mean by rural industries? So in the rural industries there are cottage industries, village industries and SSIs, small scale industries and agro based industries. So these are all in the rural industries. The rural industries is embrace all industries which are run by rural people in the rural areas. And the village industries, cottage industries, small scale industries and agro based industries. What is meant by cottage industries? The cottage industries are generally associated with agricultural and provide both part-time and full-time job in the rural areas. So the cottage industries generally associated with agricultural and provide both part-time and full-time jobs in the rural areas. The important characteristics of the cottage industries, these industries are carried out by the artisans in their own homes at their own risk and for their own benefit. So artisans may combine this work with another regular job. And second one, no or little outside labor is employed. Normally, the members of household provide the necessary labor. Third one, these cottage industries. These industries are generally hereditary and traditional in character. தலைமுறையாவே என்ன பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, தாத்தா காலத்துல இருந்து முப்பாட்ட காலத்துல இருந்து என்ன பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, அந்த தொழிலை அவங்க தொடர்ந்து செஞ்சுக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. And no or little power is used. So this industry is usually serve in the local market and generally work on the orders placed by the industries. Examples of the cottage industries, we can say that mat, pipe என்றது, choir and basket making industries. The principal cottage of industries of India is handloom, weaving, cotton, silk, jute, etc. அடுத்து pottery, மண்பானை செய்யறது, washing, soap making and conch shell, handmade paper, horn button and mother of pearl button and cutlery, lock and key making industries. So these are all the example of the, especially in India, about the cottage industries. What are village industries? Village industries are traditional in nature. Village industries are traditional in nature and depend on local raw material. They cater to the needs of local population. Example of village industries are gar and kandastri, cane and bamboo baskets, மூங்கிலால செய்யக்கூடிய baskets and shoe making and pottery and leather tanning. So these are all almost similar to the cottage industries. So the village industries also is similar to the cottage industries. So what are the examples I have given? It is about the village industries. What is SSIS? SSIS, small scale industries. In the small scale industries, the industries are located near urban centers. The small scale industries are located in the nearby urban center. They produce the goods for local as well as foreign markets. Example, such as small scale industries are manufacture of sports goods, soaps, electric fans and footwear and chewing machines and handloom weaving and SSIs are also known as a micro and small and medium enterprises. So they are defined and categorized by Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006. So agro-based industries. Next one, agro-based industries. So far we have seen cottage industries, village industries, SSIS, small scale industries, and next one agro-based industries. So as I told you in the last class, for example wheat, கோதுமை விளைவிக்கிறோம், அந்த கோதுமை அரைக்கிற கூடிய ஒரு மில்லை நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், அங்க உருவாக்குறோம். அடுத்து நெல்லு, பேடி, அங்க என்ன பண்றோம், ஒரு மாடர்ன் ரைஸ் மில்லை உருவாக்குறோம். அடுத்து ஸ்பைசஸ், அடுத்து சுகர் கேன், அடுத்து டீ, அடுத்து காட்டன், பஞ்சி உற்பத்தி பண்றோம், அதுக்கு ஒரு மில்லு, ஸ்பின்னிங் மில், நூல் தயார் பண்ணக்கூடிய மில். So agro based industries are there in our country, especially in India. These industries are based on the processing of agricultural produce. Agro based industries may be organized and cottage scale and small scale and large scale. These industries tend to develop household settlements around them as they employ more labor on a regular basis. Examples are textile, sugar, paper, vegetable oil, tea and coffee industries. So these are all the agro-based industries in India. Next topic, the rural depthness, rural in-depthness. What's a rural in-depthness? It is refers to the situation of rural people unable to repay the loan accumulated over a period. என்ன பண்ணுவானா, அந்த சிறு விவசாயி, marginal farmers, they get the loan from the small finance, microfinance or local bodies. அப்ப அந்த கடன் வாங்கின பிற்பாடு அவன் என்ன பண்ணுவானா, அந்த லோன் அவனால திருப்பி கட்ட முடியாது, அதுக்கு வட்டி கட்டுவான், அதுக்கு வட்டி கட்டுவான், அதுக்கு வட்டி கட்டுவான். So as I told you in the class, in the last class, the farmers, they are born in debt and die with debt. கடனாவே பிறக்கிறான், கடைசியில கடனாவே இறந்துடுறான். So why? There is in the rural indebtedness. So they cannot repay the loan accumulated over a period of time. Existence of rural indebtedness, this indicates the weak financial infrastructure of our country in reaching the needy farmers and landless, one who யாரெல்லாம் லேண்ட் இல்லாம அடுத்தவங்க லேண்ட்ல போய் அதை நம்பி வாழ்றானோ. So the people and agricultural laborers, the farmers borrow the loan for various purposes like agricultural operations, supporting the family. So and lean season or purchase of equipments in the recent years. So and liquor consumption and medicine go on increasing without any limit. So due to lower income, they have to meet so many needs. So the villages are unable to repay the loans or pay the bending interest on the principal amount. So it is called the rural indebtedness. Nearly 3/4 of the rural family, 4 பங்கு in the country are in debt. 3 பங்கு மக்கள், சிறப்பா ரூரல்ல வாழக்கூடிய மக்கள் ரொம்ப கடனாளியாவே வாழ்றான். So the amount of debt in heavier in the case of small farmers, cultivators are more indebted than the non-cultivators. Most of the debts taken are short terms and unproductive nature. proportion of debts having higher rate of interest is relatively high. Most of the villages are indebted to private agencies, particularly from the money lenders. So, this is the features of the indebtedness. What are the causes for the rural indebtedness? Poverty of farmers. The farmers என்ன ஆகுறானா வறுமையாவே வாழ்றான். So, அதனால இந்த causes சொல்றான் indebtedness. Failure of monsoon. So, they only depend on agriculture. The agriculture is mainly depends upon the monsoon. பருவநிலை, கோடைக்காலம், மழைக்காலம், குளிர்காலம் சொல்றோம் இல்லைங்களா, மழைக்காலம். அப்ப the agriculture is based on the monsoon. The failure of the monsoon. During the raining season, there is no rain. So, there is no enough water for irrigation. The land water all is going down. So, even the nature also is destroying the rural people. So, failure of the monsoon. Therefore, farmers find it difficult to identify the good years to repay their debt. Next one, litigation. Due to land disputes, litigation in the court compels them to borrow heavily. So, being uneducated and ignorant of their lending about the money, they caught in the litigation progress and dry away their savings and resources. And money lenders and high rate of interest. வட்டிக்கு பணம் கொடுக்குறவன் என்ன பண்றான் அப்படின்னா அதிக வட்டிக்கு என்ன பண்ணிடுறான் கொடுத்துறான். அவன் அந்த வட்டியே தான் என்ன பண்றான் திரும்ப திரும்ப கட்டிட்டே இருக்கிறான். ஸோ அவனால முன்னுக்கு வர முடியல. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் என்ன சொல்றேன், இஸ் த காசஸ் ஆஃப் ரூரல் இன்டெப்ட்னஸ். Poverty of the farmers, failure of the monsoon, litigation, and money lenders and high rate of interest. So, these are all the things that we have seen in the class about the rural indebtedness. So, with that, I will conclude this class. Still, we have so many topics in this chapter. The next chapter, the method to remove the rural indebtedness, we see in the next class. So, until then, I will conclude my class. So, study well. God bless you. Thank you.